Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour. Hello, my little French beans. How are you? How was your day? It's, well, you can see what it is. It's kind of showery today. I actually unbelievably have to pop to the shops in a bit. Oh, am I not looking forward to that? How are you all? Actually, talking about the weather, I know I mentioned earlier in the week the weather wasn't looking good for the week. The weather for Friday currently is rain, although I don't know how heavy. It may not be that heavy actually for training, but also wind. So we'll have a look at it. At the moment it's still going to go ahead. If it's going to be miserable for you all, then I will cancel. But if not, it will go ahead, and we shall have to wear oilskins and a big fedora hat and waterproof underpants. What have I got to say today? I'm going to try not to waffle as much today. It was a long vlog last night. Well done if you got to the end of it. But at least you now know the history of the Christmas tree, which actually I was partly wrong about. I did say it goes back to the Druids and paganism, but actually it was more a Christian thing to introduce the Christmas tree from what I was reading yesterday. So I was kind of half right, half wrong. So that's as close as you're going to get to an apology from me. I've mentioned a young lady before, and I wished her happy birthday before. She attends our DS Active sessions at Longfleet, and I've also mentioned before she is a proper box of fireworks. Anyway, she was doing her proper box of fireworks type stuff at the weekend, and she felled a tree. God, you see the size of the tree on the vlog yesterday for the Rockefeller tree for Times Square. Oh my life, the size of that trunk. Anywho, she fell off her, I don't know whether it was parallel bars or a frame or something, and she has fractured her arm. So poor Clara. Big hug from us all at Parley and Longfleet, and I know she's having it manipulated today, which is going to be no fun whatsoever, and if that doesn't work then she's got to have a little operation. So best of luck to Clara and Liz, and keep me posted on how she gets on. Even if you don't watch this vlog, keep me posted by telepathy or whatever. What else? So exciting news actually. I was chatting to me, I've mentioned before as well also, when you've done 270 odd vlogs you do tend to talk about a lot of stuff. I've mentioned my elderly aunt before, who is absolutely fantastic. She lives on her own and is very self-sufficient, and she's lovely. And I was chatting to her yesterday, and she is the first person I know who is going to get her COVID vaccination next week. So she'll be having that, and then generally you have the second one 3 weeks later, and then a week after that you should be immune. So a month from next week she will be hopefully fully immune. So we've had a chat about me popping in on Christmas Day, and she offered me Christmas lunch, and we kind of decided it's not worth risking at this late stage. So we're going to have a proper Christmas and probably a birthday for me, and her birthday's this month as well. So we're going to have it in the middle of January when she's all safe to go. So exciting news. So things definitely on the up. I think that's about it for today. I don't want to waffle too much because I've realised I've used a lot of your time recently. Today's lesson on the tradition of Christmas is turkeys. So we have turkey for Christmas dinner. I didn't know the origins of it, and I do now, and I will read it to you in due course. I found a really interesting article online from The Independent where they gave a history of the tradition of having the Christmas turkey. So I shall read it in a bit. Prior to that, unbelievably, we have 3 birthdays today. So, first of all. I forgot one at the weekend. I didn't forget it, but I've mentioned Polly in the States, in the US, who sometimes sends over jokes and what have you, and keeps a really keen eye on you guys and girls. It was her birthday at the weekend, so Polly, happy birthday to you. Today, also on a previous vlog, I've mentioned Martina, who is a nurse at the hospital, and she has indeed spent time nursing on the COVID wards. She was in one of our heroes of the week, very early vlogs. I nearly said blogs then. Whoa. It is her birthday today. She is the big 29-ish. So, happy birthday, Martina, as well. And also, he's been banging on about it for days. Dan, 6 foot Dan. It's his birthday today. Even though he's no longer a part of Parley, he will still get the saucepan of birthday. However, prior to that, I have to light it. So I'm going to have to leave my very comfortable reading seat. Because as I say, this is Jackanory. And I will be back shortly. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear. In alphabetical order, Dan, Martina, Polly. Happy birthday to you. I thank you. Right, it's down for today's lesson, which, as we've already mentioned, is the toy key. The toy key. That's why they say it in New York. Toy key. Coffee. So, and I say thanks to the iNews for this. It says Britons lamenting their Christmas turkey, or indeed the Christmas turkey of another, for being too dry and bland is a regular occurrence this year. We all moan about turkey being dry, don't we? So the sheer scale with which the birds are consumed every Christmas is somewhat surprising. Excuse me. We buy around 10 million turkeys each festive period, buttering and basting them until their skin is crisp and golden and their bones are ready for soup. Despite figures that suggest great swathes of diners, 48% to be precise, would opt instead for some other meat, be it beef or duck or pork, turkey is the unquestionable centrepiece. The majority of UK households sit down to the fowl on December the 25th. 76% of us do. Even families who splash out on goose may too have a turkey crown on the table, and ham studded with cloves and dripping in sweetness is a mere accompaniment. The democratisation of the turkey is a fairly recent occurrence. It wasn't until the 1950s that they became widely available and not considered a luxury, but the birds go way back further. Turkeys were first brought to Britain in the 1520s from Mexico via Levantine traders, hence the name Turkey, because that was part of the Turkish Empire, and first listed as goods for sale in 1521. The earliest written record of turkeys is attributed to Archbishop Thomas Cranmer in 1541. Food historian Sam Bilton tells us he wanted to curb gluttony on the higher clergy by only allowing one bird to be served per dish. Due to their size, these greater fowls were able to provide more meat, therefore negating the need to have more than one. Before then, for the rich, a boar's head might have featured, or a pheasant, maybe even a swan or peacock. For a king, all of them, probably, but not definitely, but probably. The popular belief is that King Henry VIII was the first to sit down and tuck into turkey on Christmas Day. By 1573, farmer Thomas Tusser noticed that the birds had started being dished up as Yuletide fare across the land, though goose and capon, which is a castrated rooster, were still the primary choice. Food historian Angela Clutton tells me turkeys may have been part of the festive feasting for Tudor royals and the wealthy at that time, most likely in one of the meat-tastic pies, but turkey would not commonly have been the centrepiece roast in the way we think of it now. Skip to the early 1600s and the meat is no longer consigned to Christmas, nor is it quite so exclusive. In 1615, turkey has a role in Gervase Markham's book, I think that should say Gervais, but anyway, The English Housewife, and the London Poulterer's Guide. Records show that by the end of the century, company clerks, or clerks even, were given them as a Christmas present. 2 centuries on, turkeys were still quite exclusive. During Queen Victoria's reign, the birds were more expensive than alternatives. In the north of England, most people with money to spare would buy a hefty hunk of beef. In the south, goose was favoured. Poorer families would make do with rabbit. But it is during the Victorian era that turkeys began to be popularised. In Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, published in 1843, Scrooge sends Bob Cratchit a massive turkey to replace his goose. Turkey really became more popular at Christmas through the Victorian era. Clutton adds that transportation made a difference too. Mrs. Beeton wrote about turkeys being driven to London from Norfolk for the Christmas trade, quite a way, so they'd have had little leather boots on their feet, Clutton says. Soon after, with the arrival of the railways, turkey really took off. A combination of literary might, increased production, and the refrigeration made lower budget eating possible. Crucially, turkeys became accessible and therefore much cheaper. Interesting fact about that is that pre-war times, a turkey would have cost the equivalent of a week's salary or a week's wages. These days, it's the equivalent of, or an average of, an hour and a half salary. There you go. Still in the 1930s, our beloved turkey would cost us more than... Oh, it's just going to tell me that. I've just told you that. So I'm not going to bore you with that again. So there you go. So that's how turkey came to... So it wasn't until after the war that turkey became traditional Christmas fare for the masses, the hoi polloi and the plebs like me. It was... prior to that, it was just for the upper classes. So there you go. That is your superb turkey information. Jacques, does yours? It's got to be turkey, hasn't it? Why did the turkey cross the road twice? It was, of course, to prove that he wasn't the chicken, which is fair enough. Although if you're going to have a fight between a turkey and a chicken, yeah, the turkey's going to win, aren't they? What else have we got? Let me have a ponder. Okay, so where can you find radioactive turkeys? It is, of course, Chernobyl, which is a play on Chernobyl, where they had the reactor leak. Anyway, there we go. So, for everybody's birthday, have a great day and be quite safe.